For example, you can get as many tattoos as you like.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, The Story Boy. Today we're gonna watch a real story. Here, I'll start totally from the starting.
त्योहार की fashion shopping only with Myntra Big Fashion Festival, 3rd to 10th October. Shop now.
Unbelievable deals on flights and full refund on cancellation. Only on Cleartrip.
Hi friends, my name is Daisy. I have a very rare genetic condition. I'm sure you'll be surprised to hear this. I can't feel physical pain of any kind. You heard that right. I have no sense of pain. It's actually a disorder. The medical term for it is congenital insensitivity to pain. What exactly does that mean? Let me give you some examples. Let's say your little brother has been playing with Lego and left some pieces on the floor, and you accidentally stepped on one. It would hurt, right? Well, I don't feel that. It doesn't hurt when I step on little Lego pieces because I don't feel pain. Here's another example. I'm sure you must have stubbed a toe against a table leg at least once and it hurt a lot. You might have felt like you wouldn't be able to stand the pain. As you probably guessed, I feel nothing when I stub my toe. Even if I were to stub my toe so hard that it would break, I'd just keep on walking. All this might sound pretty good to you. You might be thinking, it must be wonderful to never feel any pain. I wish I were like you. But it's not like that at all. Because the feeling of pain is the body's warning system. It is vital for our survival. Think of it this way. If there's something that is harming you, your brain alerts you through pain. You have to do something to stop the pain. If you don't feel the pain, you're not aware of the danger. And this can have really bad consequences. For example, I got a second-degree burn in my mouth from eating French fries. Why? Because I couldn't feel that they were super hot. I kept eating them and damaged my tongue and the roof of my mouth. If you were in my place, you'd feel your mouth burning after the first bite. You would either wait for the fries to cool off or only eat them after blowing on them. But people like me can't tell the fries are too hot and keep on eating them. So I ended up getting burns all over my mouth that day. One of the biggest issues for people who can't feel pain is not realizing that they have broken a bone. Last winter, I went skiing with my family. It's perfectly normal to fall down when you ski, so I fell down a few times that day. At dinner, I noticed there was something funny about my right hand. I kept dropping the fork. I'm so clumsy today, I said. My dad said, I don't think that's normal, and took me to the hospital. The x-ray showed I had multiple fractures in my shoulder and in my upper arm. Since I didn't feel any pain, I had no idea that I broke something during one of my falls, and I just continued skiing. Of course, there are some advantages to not being able to feel pain. For example, you can get as many tattoos as you like, and you can get all the piercings you want. My mom says that I have to wait until I turn 18 before getting any tattoos. So I haven't been able to get any yet. But I'm planning to get a lot of tattoos in the future because I love them so much. It's nice to know they won't hurt at all, although I hope I don't overdo it because of that. I think I forgot to tell you, people who have...
So guys, you can see that this person can't feel pain, and this is really surprising. And this is a really true story. I'm telling you.
my disorder don't feel any body aches either. So we never get headaches, and we never wake up in the middle of the night because our teeth hurt. Speaking of teeth, my dentist doesn't give me anesthesia when he's filling my cavities or pulling my teeth, because I don't need it. But still, he always keeps asking, are you sure? Does it really not hurt at all? Naturally, I say no. And every time this happens, he goes, this is a miracle, unbelievable. This disorder also presents unique challenges for parents of children who have it. As a baby, I never cried. I was smiling all the time. My mom used to say, I'm so lucky, my baby is so well behaved. Once, my mom forgot to change my diaper. Still, I just kept on smiling. Since I sat in dirty diapers for a long time, I got a rash. My mom was baffled that I didn't even cry. That's when she thought for the first time, this is too much. Is something wrong with my child? But since she'd never heard of anything like pain insensitivity before, she had no way of knowing that that was the problem. Do you know when my family finally figured out I had this disorder? On my 6th birthday. My parents hung up a huge piñata at my birthday party. All the kids were waiting for their turn to hit it. There was a huge stick. Each kid would get blindfolded and be given the stick, and then hit the piñata as hard as he could. One of the kids missed the piñata and whacked me on the head instead. He got confused because he was blindfolded. My mom screamed and came running to me. I just gotten hit on the head with a huge stick, but I didn't care at all. Mom said, "Daisy, did that hurt real bad?" I asked her with a smile, "What does that mean?" Because there was no pain in my life, my vocabulary didn't contain any words associated with pain. We went to see a doctor the next day. After a series of tests, they diagnosed me with congenital insensitivity to pain. As I said, it is a very rare disorder. The odds of having it are 1 in a million. So what causes it? Doctors are now sure that it's a genetic condition, but they don't yet know precisely why pain does not occur in the body. There are 2 theories. According to the first theory, the nerves of people with this disorder are directing the pain signal to the wrong part of the brain. The brain can't go into alarm mode since it's not receiving the pain signal. When a normal person touches a very hot saucepan, our brain orders the nerves to immediately feel pain and remove your hand. But if that person is oblivious to the pain, their brain doesn't give that order, even if they're touching the hot pan. Speaking of hot pans, a few summers ago, we went to a seaside resort. I went to the beach early in the morning. I laid down on a sunbed, didn't get up for hours. It was almost noon. I'll take a dip now, I thought. In the meantime, the sand on the beach got sizzling hot. I started walking towards the water without even thinking about it. My brother swears he saw smoke coming out from under my feet as I was walking. That day, the hot sand burned most of the skin on the bottom of my feet. Before I forget, let me tell you about the second theory the doctors have about pain insensitivity. According to this one, people like me have a higher than average amount of endorphins in their brains. This is why we don't feel pain. Endorphins are also called the happiness hormone because this hormone makes people feel happy. For example, when you get a good grade, or when you eat after being hungry for a long time, or when you hug someone you love, your brain releases endorphins. This is what makes you feel happy in that moment. I think this theory is definitely correct. We don't feel pain because we release too many endorphins. Why do I think so? Because I'm always in a good mood. I've never been depressed in my life. I never cry. I always laugh. I even had a bad experience once because of this. My best friend's grandmother died 4 or 5 years ago. I went to the funeral to be there for her. No matter how much I tried, I couldn't bring myself to feel sad. I felt like laughing all the time. At some point, I couldn't hold it anymore, and I laughed. Naturally, everyone stared at me. Thankfully, I was really young. People thought I was just being childish. Back then, I didn't know why I felt that way, but now I know that an overdose of endorphins made me laugh at that funeral. Another issue people like me have is that they are too brave. Why are we like this? Because the feeling of pain has not 1, but 2 functions. First, it warns us. This is how we realize something is harming us. But also, it educates us. We find out what harms us and learn to keep away from the danger in the future. Let's say you decided to jump off a wall. You jumped without thinking and sprained your ankle as a result. You learn your lesson and never jump from something so high again. People like me don't have pain to teach us these lessons. This is why we are so brave. We behave fearlessly when we're faced with dangers that might harm us. At the hospital, I met a guy named Jake who, just like me, had pain insensitivity. We met up once because we shared the same problem. I noticed that, weirdly, Jake was always trying to get into a fight. He was constantly provoking people. As we were walking, a dog barked at us. The owner was this huge guy. Jake started yelling at him without even looking up to see how big he was. There was no need to blow this out of proportion, but he almost got into a fist fight with the guy. When he calmed down, I asked him why he acted that way. He said, "Because it's so much fun. I get into fights at least once a week, and I usually end up getting beaten up. Of course, it never hurts. I keep laughing while the other person is hitting me. I get such a kick out of seeing the looks on their faces." Obviously, that was the last time I ever saw Jake. You might be wondering if there's any cure for this disorder. Unfortunately, there isn't. As I said earlier, it afflicts very few people in the world. This means very few customers for pharmaceutical companies. When there are so few potential customers, companies don't spend money on research. This is why I'm pretty sure they won't be developing a cure for my disorder anytime soon. Thank you for listening to me. If you like stories like this, you can subscribe to this channel now.
Okay, guys, I can send you the link of this. It is. If I can't send the link, I will tell you the name. It is called My Story Animated, or you can see that's my story. It's anyway. Just type "I can't feel pain," and that'll come to you. This is on my that's my story. There are many more, like so many more. So that's all for today, and thank you for watching. Bye, guys.